Hey everyone, it's Melissa Catherine, and welcome back to our Spotlight series. I have another one of my fabulous clients with me today. This is Leah. What's up, girly?
Hi, I'm Melissa.
Hi. So as you know, what we are doing here is Leah is a part of our Weight Loss for Life program, but it is a program that is so much more. In fact, we're always looking at the name of it. We're like, it's a life program. And it's an amazing one at that. So, but one of the things I want Leah is going to be sharing with you, some things that really shifted for her through this program. And she's had amazing results and weight loss and just so many positive shifts in her life. And she's an amazing entrepreneur. So we're going to talk about that, so learn more about that. But really sharing with you some things that can help you today to support you in getting from where you are to where you want to be. And as we were even talking about, it's fascinating because it's not even so much the stuff that's shifted for her, isn't even so much, we all know, eat less, move more. But it's why are we going to the food when we don't need it? Why are we eating when we're already full? Why are we eating emotions or sabotaging ourselves from the things that we know we want to be doing or feeling good about? So we're going to talk about some of those things today. So Leah, I would love if you could share with everybody, where were you, before the program started? What did that look like for you?
So before the program started, I was in a place where I had gained back a whole bunch of weight. I'd lost a lot of weight. I'd lost like 120 pounds and I'd kept it off for years. And then I had gained about 70 of it back and I was feeling not so great. And I kept gaining and I'd injured myself at work and I was just gaining and not feeling good. And I had worked with a dietitian and a trainer and my doctor, and we'd like done all these things and I was doing all the things and I was not getting any results. And I was so frustrated. I finally just gave up. I just was like, you know what, if this isn't going to work anyways, why am I killing myself working out this hard, counting every calorie I eat, doing all of that. And I couldn't do it anymore. So I quit doing like pretty much anything. I just got really down on it and gained more weight, of course. And I was at a place where I was really wanting to get back into losing weight, getting healthy, feeling better in my body. And I tried some other programs, with shakes and workouts and all of that kind of stuff. And I'd done like a round or two of those and it was okay, but definitely not what I really wanted to continue with. And I'd been following you for quite a while. So I was watching your message and there was something that just really, really spoke to me in what you were saying. And I was like, no, I'm really done with this. Like I need to do something completely different because obviously the same approach that I've been doing forever is not working for me. And I needed to do something, but I was, as you know, like when we had our first call, I told you straight up, not going to work out. Don't want to work out. I hate everything about working out. I hate it. And I was like, not going to do it. And you were like, okay, that's all right. You don't have to, we can still do it around that. Other ladies are saying the same thing. And I was like, oh, that's good because I'm not doing it.
Leah was like, it's not happening. It's just not going to happen. So you can tell me to, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah. And now,
And now
can I work out more? I want to work out harder. I want to do this.
Yeah. Now I swim twice a week. I go to aquasides. I do yoga, and I'm going to start with a trainer again I'm trying to rehab my shoulders from the injury that I had that derailed me before. And I want to get into doing some like more serious, like strength work because I really want some good upper body strength and all of that kind of good stuff. So and I walk all the time. I hike. I do all sorts of things now. So it's a huge, huge change from the beginning. Yeah, I totally still remember that moment though. It was so funny for me to be like, no, I'm not working out. If you tell me, I'm just going to not do it.
Yeah. And now the message is we run challenges in the program. And I remember the first one, she was like, I'm not, what? And now you're like, you've won the past two challenges. Yeah. So the women in our program, and it's to the point now where I'm like, I can't keep giving out this many prizes. And gifts. And I'm like, this is getting out of control. Like, I'm like, and in the best way possible. Like, it's amazing. But, we just sit there and we're like, oh my God, like we just had 5 women that tied the last challenge. And they're super fun. Yeah, it gets everybody like really motivated. So I want to know, so for you right now, so now you're working out, you've lost a ton of weight, you look incredible. What else has changed for you?
So if we're talking not just weight, oh my gosh.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, no, for sure. Just in life in general, my relationships with people have changed a lot. With my boyfriend and his family, he's got 4 kids, so it can be pretty chaotic and crazy, and there's always a ton of drama and everything going on. And this program has helped me tremendously to navigate all of that chaos. Because it can be, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, as I'm sure you can imagine, and there's sometimes it can really bring you down. And I really like, I feel things, and I really like take it all on, and it's a big thing for me. So
we have a
I
lot
had
of podcasts in our program. Yes.
yeah, and I had a really hard time kind of distancing myself from that, like being able to support him in things that were going on, but not taking it all on. And I've learned a lot about how to still be supportive and still support myself and do what I need to do for me. So now I'm at the top of my priority list, and filling my cup is my number one priority because I need to do that. Otherwise I get run down and things just fall apart, and it's no good for anybody. If I'm at my best, I'm so much better for everybody else. And I've told people that. I've given that message out to other people for years, but I've never done it for myself. So that's been a huge one for sure, and setting boundaries and things of that nature.
Did that have you turn to food? Things that would happen?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I remember that a lot of that it would trigger you to food. So now,
for sure,
what are you doing in place of food? Has that separation helped you not turn to food?
Yeah, it has. I still do it sometimes. There's a lot more goodies and treats and fun things at his house that I don't have around my house. So sometimes my little girl gets into the candies and things. It's just past Halloween, and everybody still has their Halloween candy here. But definitely not nearly as much. So now some of it is in place of food, but some of it's just, I don't feel the same need to do it at all because I'm not getting as like wound up by things.
Yes.
So if I can just keep myself, or else, sometimes I'll do where, I'll just take myself off to another room for 5-10 minutes, and I'll like listen to a meditation or just do the 5-5-5 breathing, which I find incredibly powerful. That's one of my favorite tools. So that's a huge one. Or I'll drink some water, or I'll make a cup of tea and things like that. So I do a lot of things like that, or I go for a walk, when it's not 40 below.
Give back to yourself instead of turning to food and other things that would actually negatively impact you. You've learned how to give yourself the things that you really need to to feel the way you want to feel and get the results that you want to have.
Totally. And I may not be perfect at it, but that's part of the thing too, is that I've let go of a lot of that perfection.
Yeah.
So it used to be that if I did get into the Halloween candy or did whatever, I would like beat myself up for days, and it would send me on a spiral that would last for ages. And now it's like, oh, that happened. Okay.
All or nothing mentality. So that's what we really tackle. And we talk about a ton in the program is about releasing the perfectionist. So the perfectionist is the controller who loves the diet and loves the plan and needs to always, because, and it's very much a black or white, all or nothing mentality. And life is happening in the color, in the gray zone. That's awesome. That's amazing. So what are some other tips and things? So you've mentioned, making yourself a number one priority, which I think is one of the most challenging things for women, especially moms, stepmoms, when we're in partnership and feeling pulled a million different directions. The idea of actually making yourself your number one priority is like, how would I do that? So you mentioned that, which is, and it's a choice, right?
Mm-hmm. It totally is. And once you can make that switch so that you don't think of it as being selfish, it makes such a difference, because we're so programmed to think of that as being selfish, but it's not. It's not that you're putting yourself at your top of your priority list is at the expense of anybody else. You're not pushing anybody else down to be there. You're actually able to do more for everybody if you do it.
So I try to tell everybody all the time, and they're always like, but how do I, yeah. But it's, and once you start doing it, you're like, I need my time. I need, and you mentioned the 5, 5, and 5. So this is a breath work exercise that I teach, where, you know, you breathe in through the nose for 5, you hold it for 5, and you exhale for 5. And this actually calms your central nervous system and brings you back to a place of really being able to hear the intuitive guidance within, and getting yourself out of doing or saying a lot of things that can get you in trouble, right?
It works like a charm. Yeah, it's my favorite thing because you can do it anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, you don't need anything else. Like, I'm always like, I could do more complicated breath work and teach you guys different things. And I'm like, I swear to God, though, 5, 5, and 5. It's so easy, and it gets you right back. And what would you say? I know you had mentioned earlier when we started, intention, right?
Oh, yes. So when we were talking about intention and food specifically, you know, and when you're preparing food and having a positive, loving intention when you're making your food or prepping it or whatever, it makes a difference because you're putting that energy into your food. And I'm also just a huge believer of setting intentions just in general. And that's been one of the biggest things for me, is if I'm coming up to a challenging time or something, to just take time to journal, and I love journaling. Journaling is another big tool for me, but to take some time and journal and set my intentions for that. So what I want to feel, how I want to behave, what I want to get out of it. And it helps more than I can possibly say. Like that, setting your intention, it's like magic. It's like a magic spell. And that's what I tell people. It basically is, right? Like intention, magic, prayer. For me, it's all the same exact thing, because that's what you're doing. And the results really are magical. It's sort of, sometimes it's freaky. Like you set your intention for something and then that exact thing happens and you're like, whoa, that was frightening.
But in the program about manifesting and law of attraction, and a lot of things about setting yourself up for success, because oftentimes, again, you know, when we're a dieter, we're really in a reactive space. So not only dieters, and don't hate me when I say this, but we're, you know, it's a very selfish act, right? It's very much like you're so self-absorbed with what you're eating, your calories. Did you get your workout in? Often when we're talking to other people, we're not even paying attention to what they're saying because we're beating ourselves up and we're thinking about, am I full? Or why did I just eat that right now? Or, oh my God, I'm hungry. Well, what did I eat and how many calories? And so when we're in this self-absorbed space, also too, you feel like life is kind of happening to you. Like, I'm at this weight because of this, and all of these people around me are against me, and like the weight of the world is on me. And so once you start to get, it's really important to recognize the power of intention, which is what Leah is talking about, which is that you are a co-creator in your experience, right? And that you are creating everything that you want to experience. So waking up, setting an intention. We talk about in the program about setting an intention before you go to bed, about what you want your morning to be like. You know, visualizing, all of those things are really, really important. She's drinking her water. She has a little challenge going on, right, with how much water. I love it. So, so we talked about intention. We talked about the 5-5-5 breathing. You had mentioned journaling and how helpful that has been for you, which is something that I know, you know, we all talk about, but it's true. It's free. It's right there. How does that help you?
Oh my gosh. That's one that I've been doing for years now, and I love it. And one of the things that I would say to anybody who's like, no, I don't want to journal or whatever, or I do it online. I have an online journal that I use that I can type because I write a lot. Yeah, and the one that I use is called Penzu, because it's free, and it'll Penzu. Oh yeah, sorry, penzu.com.
Oh, okay. ZEDU.
Nope.
No.
So pen, PEN, and then Z or Z, I forget, you know, Canadian American. U. But I found that made a big difference for me. I used to only believe in pen to paper journaling, and I wouldn't do electronic, but I finally made the switch, and now I journal pretty much every morning. I have for the last few years, and it makes all the difference for me. And I change up what I do sometimes. I actually have some journal templates that I've created for myself that I use now. And I love it. So I set my intention for the day and I write my to-do list, or I talk about, I do actually a whole thing about being a co-creator and the things that I choose to consciously co-create. And then I talk about loving myself, and because I love myself, different things that I do or don't do because of that. And I do gratitudes and all of that stuff. So it can take it doesn't have to take a long time, because it tends to just really, really flow. But or if I'm having a bad day or something, or if my boyfriend's ticked me off or something and there's things that I want to say, but I know I probably shouldn't, I go and I'll journal it all out. And generally by the time I'm done journaling, I'm like, oh yeah, it's really not that big of a deal. That was me. That was my own stuff that was coming up that actually had nothing to do with him. So it's a good thing I didn't say anything, because that did not need to turn into a big event.
Yeah, that's awesome. Journaling is an amazing, and I know that so many people say like they know that it's a good thing, and guys, just get started. Do 5 minutes. I tell my clients when we practice in the morning, 5, 5, and 5. 5 minutes of journaling, 5 minutes of reading something introspective, and 5 minutes of meditating. Just start there. And I can tell you, I mean, one of my clients messaged me this morning that's like, I wish I could do a 3-hour morning practice. Like once you get started, you really enjoy that time with you so much. I mean, Rebecca, she'll like go and, I mean, she has like 3 kids. She gets up at like 4 a.m. and will send me messages like from her bathroom in Australia. And she's like, I'm doing my morning practice, and like, because she values it so much.
Yeah.
And it's, once you get started, these are these like sacred times with you that you don't want to give up. But before you start, you're kind of like, you're just in a different mindset around it. But once you get started, you're like, okay, this is good.
Oh my gosh.
The results in your life, like the intention. Yeah. And then when the intentions play out, you're like, okay, that's what I said I wanted today. You're kind of like reading your journal, like,
it's what? So crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't tell you how many times when I've known, there's something going on, say with my boyfriend and the kids or whatever, and I'm going to be at his house that weekend, and I'll like set my intentions that I want peace, harmony, joy. And lately what I've been asking for, like with him specifically, is love, appreciation, and affection. And it's crazy. Like, it has shown up so much more. Like, he actually, like yesterday, said the words to me, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you and how much I appreciate everything that you've been doing for me. And I was just like, what? Like, normally he doesn't say stuff out loud. Like, I know he loves and appreciates me, but to actually get those words, I was like, wow, that is pretty powerful stuff. Yeah, and it makes such a difference.
Yeah, intention is so I just want to recap again. So, and you might be sitting here going, okay, what does this have to do with weight loss? And Leah and I, so just explain what intention has to, because there's a lot that we do in Weight Loss for Life. It's like a 9-month program. It is, I call it a rebirthing program. It's like, if you're struggling with kind of like, who am I now? Or I want to get this weight off, or I haven't been able to, and I've been struggling with food, but there's always, it's never about the food. We always think it's about the food, right? Like, it's never about the food. We always struggle with weight because like there's something that's wrong with us, or it's my willpower. I need to be more like this. Like, right? It's none of that. You're laughing.
It's so true. Well, so true. And I laugh when I think about like when you first started telling us that we were supposed to be prepping our food, and you wanted us to start like, kind of tracking what we were eating, not in a calorie counting way, like nothing like that. It was more of like what you were eating, how it made you feel, why you were eating, that kind of stuff. And I was immediately like, whoa, no, like that brings out my inner dieter. It makes me like angry. I was angry. Like I was totally angry at Melissa. Like I got like right fired up, and that I don't often, right? Like I'm not an angry person, but oh my God, did it ever come out? Like
I was like, I just triggered, but it was perfect. Like that's the thing. I always know everybody's, when you're in a group, there's different levels. And I knew that, but it needed to be confronted in that way, so that you could see that area of resistance and because I wasn't asking you to count calories at all. And I don't believe in diets, right? But I did want you to be in touch with how food made you feel. Right. But so
Yeah.
what were you going to say about that when you hated me?
Oh my gosh. It was just so funny how angry I was. It's true. Well, that was the thing, right? Like I was so mad, but I was like, I love Melissa so much, but I am so angry right now. Like I am so angry. And I'm like, stupid tracker. I don't want to have to do this stupid thing. And I was just mad. I just was. And then when I finally was like, fine. And it was because I finally like really buckled down to do it because it was one of the challenges. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm like setting my mind to like do this challenge the way she put it. Like, it's going to be good. And once I started actually really doing it, I was like, oh, this is really easy. And, I found ways that it worked for me, like how to do it. And super helpful.
You have smiley faces on it. You put stickers on your own thing. So it's not
super helpful. Yeah. Like it made a huge difference.
Like when you were eating too much and like how you got tired and you like recognize that, wow, I'm eating this, but like it really doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
Or like I feel light and then I eat and then I can't stop eating. Right. Like,
yeah.
So,
well, and like I was telling you before, like protein is something I've struggled with my entire life. And I just have never eaten enough protein. And Melissa made this connection for me one day when we were talking, and like protein and energy, and because I wanted more energy because I was just tired all the time. So I was like, all right, I'll try this whole protein thing again. And I did. And like, especially looking at the tracker, I know if I haven't eaten my protein that day or haven't eaten enough protein for what I need that day, it makes a tremendous difference. I'm hungry so much sooner. I just don't feel right. I don't have the energy. And doing the tracker really made a difference in figuring all of that stuff out.
Yeah, we have these special like food and mood trackers and like fitness trackers, but it's not like the typical tracker. It's like how are you feeling? What is your emotion like? And so it helps you to really understand. But protein is a misconception, and a lot of women are devoid in the amount of protein, but they often think they need to sit down and eat fish or chicken or they need to have like a steak to get protein. And there's we go through how many different sources and plant-based protein and beans and like so many different things that you can get your protein from, and how to make things that are really easy to eat without having to like make some crazy, right? Like now it's like fun. It's like, oh, I can make this, I can make that. Like I'm all about quick and easy when it comes to like food prep of any kind. But I do think that especially as women, we're like, I need to make a meatloaf and then this amazing salad and this, and it's like, no, make it easy. So wait, before we go, I cut you off earlier. When we were talking about intention, how has the power of intention helped support you in weight loss?
Oh, the power of intention. It really has just changed my mindset, changed the way I look at things. Just really, I have a strong belief in law of attraction, and I'm very fortunate. I tend to be a fairly optimistic, upbeat person for the most part anyways, but it really, having that extra level of intention, especially around food and honoring my body and honoring my hunger, which was one of the biggest lessons for me in this program. And it's, that has changed my life in a huge way. It's just made all the difference. Like just setting my intention, it's being present in that moment and actually asking for what I want for me.
Yeah.
And what I need for my body, and then giving myself the space to listen for the answers or listen to my body and really figure out what I need. So it's just a game changer.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so guys, just to recap, we went through a breathing pattern of breathing in 5 through your nose, holding it for 5 and out for 5. Do that before your body's going on autopilot, if you're stressed out, if you're about to be reactionary, if you don't know what you want to, if somebody gets you angry. I have a lot of clients that will say, I just couldn't get the words, right? And that used to be me as well. Actually, it is me. It's just the way I process. I need to actually take a step back make sense, process, and then come back and say, here's why that upset me. And so being able to do that and remove yourself at any time, the power of intention while you're preparing your food is huge. Giving it love, saying that this food serves me, it nourishes me, that my body loves, loves what it's about to receive, and that it releases what it doesn't. With ease. There's beautiful intentions that we can set. And that way you're shifting your relationship with food so that it's not like food's controlling me. It's actually, no, I'm actually choosing the food that I'm going to put into my temple, into this body. And I'm going to do it with love. And I'm going to set an intention around that. And that's amazing. Setting intentions throughout your day, setting intentions for what you want to experience. We talked about the power of journaling. We also talked about having a beautiful morning practice and taking time in your morning, right? Yeah. And before you go to bed, set yourself up for the next success the next day. Before you go to bed, set yourself up in the morning so that you're a co-creator in your day as opposed to your day leading you. That can be done in 1 minute, truly. Totally. We also talked about the importance of knowing what you're putting into your body. We talked about a lot.
We really did.
We talked about so much. But I would say start there. These are things that you can apply today. As always, community is essential and so supportive.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So you can get into our complimentary Done with Dieting group. There's a link below. And also the doors are open to our Weight Loss for Life program, which is what Leah is a part of. It's my signature 9-month program, is by application only. So you will be brought to an application. And I would love to meet you. So, and Leah, one of the things that I really, really admire about this lady, she is a fellow entrepreneur as well. There's so many things I admire about you. And I have a lot of entrepreneurs in our programs as well. Or they become entrepreneurs once they sit there and go, wait, who am I? What do I want to do with my life? Oh, this is awesome. And they get really connected to what inspires them, which is so cool. But Leah, what are you doing right now? I'd love if you could share with anybody that might want to be a part of what you're doing.
Well, my dream right now, so what I'm working on right now and putting together is to hold my own retreats, because I love it. I used to be a flight attendant, so travel is a huge, huge thing for me. And I've learned and changed and grown so much from all the travel that I've done all over the world. And I think it's incredibly important for people. I think that it is one of the best sources of education and personal growth that anybody can have. So I want to put together, I am putting together, I'm actively working on it, some retreats where I can take women who are feeling a little bit stuck in their lives, stuck at where they are in a rut, and they want to get out of their comfort zones and really dive into some fun and juicy things. I've got one that I'm working on in Japan, and the theme for that one is wabi sabi, because I love their philosophy of embracing the imperfect and the beauty of the imperfect. And I think that speaks to all of us, which is one of the pieces of my program that I'm putting together right now. So that's one little piece of that. So, and then
you have a Facebook group, right?
I do. It's called Embrace Your Adventure.
Okay, so ladies, anybody that is relating, which I'm sure we all are, check out Leah and Embrace Your Adventure on Facebook. And she'll be posting in there any retreats that she has. I love to support other women doing amazing things. And that's a cool thing. All the women in our program is like support one another, and like
amazing.
It's really cool. And just helping each other grow and being each other's clients, and it's just awesome. So I'm so proud of you, and you're incredible. And anybody that anybody that gets to work with you is so lucky. So thank you everybody for being here. Listen, when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to struggling with any of this, when it comes to knowing that, I think we all, it's that point within yourself where you go, I know I'm meant for something more than this, and I need to stop having my weight be what's all consuming me, because it's keeping me from living my life, right? Like Leah's now living her life. Like she's going for her dreams with like immense gusto. Like she is things, she's taking action in ways and has let the weight just be something that she's like, I know where I'm headed, and the weight's going to continue to come off, and I know where I'm going, and I'm confident in that. And then she can put her attention. It's when we can, right? When we're full of life, we don't need to be full from food. And that's really what this is about. So listen, if she can do it, If I can do it, you can do it. So please take these tips from today's awesome Spotlight interview series with Leah and put them into action. I want to thank you all for being here, and I will see you at the next Spotlight interview. And Leah, thank you so much for your time, girl.
Thank you. You're amazing, and you have done so much to change my life, and I just want to thank you for that.
Okay, you just gave me chills.
So true.
Like reach through and come to Canada and hug you.
Please do. Don't do it in the winter.
I know. We just had a retreat in San Diego, and it was yeah. I'm like, come on back.
Oh yeah.
I know, it's so cold. I was just on the East Coast. Anyway, okay, I'm talking to this one like we're gonna be talking about a minute. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, Leah. I will talk to you. Thank you. And all right, bye guys.
Bye. Bye everybody.